Oh, hi, Shay. Welcome to my house. Well, not necessarily my house, because that's a great way to get murdered. But I did want to show you guys my kitchen because obviously things are very different. It's going to be a repeating outfit because we're filming a few things today, but I feel like if I were to just show up and be like, cooking for fun is back in this entirely different space, you guys might have questions about this entirely different space. So welcome. We're going to do like an Arc Digest style tour, which is interesting because those people have homes. I have this room. But a lot happened, and I was very involved in every detail, and I love hearing about people's choices, decisions. So let's go through the choices, decisions. Let's probably start right here. Hello. I broke down a wall. It was really empowering for me. I wasn't the one doing it, but I watched it happen. So we had these big walls here, and my architect was like, this doesn't make sense. Let's just open this up so that when you walk in the house, you walk into this big, beautiful kitchen. So that was the first big dramatic decision we made was get rid of a closet, give the fridge its own space, and make the kitchen at least 3 feet bigger. And I've been enjoying it. So then I always wonder when people are redoing a kitchen, I'm like, where do you start? Do you start with floor, marble, or cabinets? What are you looking to change? For us with this kitchen, I'm not gonna lie, I loved the old kitchen. I loved that it had butcher block counters. I loved that it had white cabinets, so the light was super reflective. I loved that it felt homey. It felt very much like me, it felt like a very real working kitchen. But behind all the smoke and mirrors of online media and me making it look really good for Instagram, Shay making it look really good for YouTube, is that the previous owners of the house kind of built the kitchen as cheaply as they possibly could. So the cabinets couldn't bear a lot of weight. We've been sitting on the cabinets and we're like, wow, I can't believe you can sit on these. The cabinets would fall out of the wall if you put too much weight on them. Since it was butcher block and it wasn't treated and maintained well, I was truly scraping up bits of the butcher block when I was cleaning it. So when the time came, I was like, it's time to change the kitchen. So I knew I wanted a few things, cabinets that were actual proper millwork, countertops that were easier to clean and maintain, and then a lot of light and a lot of space. The cabinets we got from East Coast Cabinetry. Shout out, they have an Instagram. I've been giving them lots of free plugs. I paid all my vendors. But this is a cherry wash wood that is matte finish, which makes it feel a little bit more updated, in my opinion, than when you're doing what's up here, which is a satin finish. So this is Chantilly white, I think, the most basic white, although I did look at 15 swats of white. And we ended on this, and satin's easier to clean, so it's satin finish on top, matte finish on the bottom. And once we had that decided, I was like, okay, how am I gonna bring warmth into this space? So I knew I had 2 options for warmth, and that was tile and stone. The stone, we went to Bass Stone House in Long Island City, which is very fancy and very bougie. And you could go in and they would be like, oh, this is $200 a square foot. And I was like, okay, we're not gonna go there. So I decided instead of doing Calcutta marble, or no, Carrara marble, which is what you're probably most familiar with. This is called Calcutta, not Calcutta, Calcutta. We'll put the text on the screen. Gold. And so with that, that means there's gold ribbing, brown ribbing, and it kind of just brings a lot of warmth into the space, where to me, I was very worried that traditional marble would feel, 1, too fancy, but too bad, we've got a very fancy kitchen, but too cold. I didn't want this kitchen to feel cold. So with all that, let's go to the best part. The only part. I wanted to redo this kitchen for a window. And people are like, it's crazy that a window turned this into a whole gut renovation. Let me tell you, to get a window here in a house that is as old as my house, there was no option but to tear down, I swear to God, this whole entire wall. So while I was on my honeymoon, this was just open to the elements. And I'm so glad I wasn't here for that, because I would have been actively traumatized. So the breakdown of what they did to the structure of the room is this used to be completely wall. So they just completely rebuilt this outside wall, maintaining that old like pretty run down outside area. So like respect that they were able to do that. The stove used to be right here, actually. So I only had 6 inches of space between the outside wall and the stove. So what they did then is they took the stove, they moved it into my living room. Great time for everybody. And then we moved back in, we had this space for it here. And that kind of really opened up the entire space, the entire room. And that's what enabled us to get these windows. And I never thought I was a details person until this made me a details person. So talking more about details, the hardware is from Rejuvenation, which if you are familiar with interior design or anything like that, you're like, wow, she chose the basic standard. And I did. But I went to Rejuvenation and I touched every single piece of hardware and I saw every single finish because I was like, I'm doing it once, I'm going to do it right. These are the Oval Collection and unlacquered brass, which I kind of like because as I touch them, I'm already seeing like a little patina start to happen. And so in wanting this kitchen to feel lived in, I chose something that would patina naturally. It wouldn't stay like chrome forever. This is the Archie collection for the handles. So all of my appliance handles and all of my like drawer handles, I wanted this like heavy kind of older feeling cut and style because there were lots of like slim, sleek, modern feeling ones. And this kitchen, although incredibly modern, I wanted to feel a little bit old. No, I wouldn't forget about our spice drawer. She's still here, but now look at all the space I have. Nice. We have this beautiful book fold right here, which this looks mirrored. And that's because this stone, which it's wild that they just pull this out of the ground somewhere. And I could buy it, that's crazy. But this stone used to be like this. And then they shaved it down the center, polished it, book folded it. And that's why we have like this wonderful symmetry, which my one friend said might be a bit too modern. But he knows too much about design. I feel like there's a level of like, you don't know anything and then you can know a bit too much. And I'm happily in the middle of enjoying my book fold and not thinking it's anything that's saying anything. I think that's everything except for the tile. My last thought, I have this beautiful cream fridge and I have this cold-ish stone compared to that cream. And so I really labored over tile because I knew I wanted it to feel old like my house, new like my kitchen, and bring that same level of matching the unlacquered brass, going with the gold lines. So we ended on this really beautiful cream tile from Auto Tiles. They produce in Miami, but they're Moroccan tiles, so couldn't tell you. Let's go outside. I feel like nobody's seen this. You've only seen the window. Come on, I'll go first. So this is like truly behind the scenes. This is where all the guys who are working on the house would like set up shop. They would like work here. I, filming outside, would work here. So I'm like here making truly muffins. And these guys are like here doing incredible labor that I couldn't even fathom, like how they put up a wall in 2 days. The juxtaposition was crazy, but they got muffins out of it. So everyone was happy in the end. This is totally unrelated to the kitchen. Sorry, this is a hanging rose that you're gonna have to evade. They bloom once a year, every May. I need to prune them down for winter soon, but it's a big job. I'm really in my Martha Stewart era. But this is the garden. There's been a lot of trial and error with this garden because I'm in a metropolitan city. Like I'm in an area with, let's say, rats, mice, and a very complicated climate. So initially we had kale growing here because it's shaded. The rats love kale. So they were getting in, they were eating all my kale. I had to sacrifice it. It was interesting because they were eating my kale, but they weren't eating my celery, which my celery also needs more of a swampy climate. So it's growing and I pick off a few pieces every now and then, but it's not flourishing in the way that I would want it to. That's for next year when I know that they need to be on their own and I need to like drown them with water. This is a new invention to kind of keep the rats away, but I did still have to sacrifice my kale and zucchini because those were the only ones that they were really interested in. But after that, we've been pretty lucky with no pests. These are cherry tomatoes. We are like in peak summer, so they're under a bit of stress, and I just harvest most of them. My beefsteaks, though, whoop. Sorry. Oh, dogs are out. My beefsteaks, though, are popping. They're doing pretty well.
Taller than you.
So that's what's crazy. Like, this is trellised right here. I need to buy higher trellises, honestly. But it's growing a tomato right here. And it's like, I'll keep going if you want me to. I am also, here's the thing. I'm behind on pruning tomatoes. If you're a gardener, you're like, yeah, you are. But if you aren't a gardener, come here and look at this. So this right here is called a sucker, and they don't produce fruit. So this is like the main stretch of the stem. And you see how this is positioned right in the center? That means it should be pruned. But up here, see how this is also popping out? It's not directly in the center, so that's not a sucker. That means it could produce fruit. I have a great example right here. So this right here is one I missed. It's coming out directly from the center of these two. It most likely is a sucker, and it's a powerful one. And I'm gonna need my clippers to get in here. This was supposed to be a kitchen tour, and then I was like, you know what? Let me show you my eggplant, because I'm so proud of these. They are incredibly easy to grow, and they're ghost eggplant. And oh, this one's getting big. Wait, come to me. I'll show you her. Okay. Oh, this is my favorite one. I'm worried about her because she's outside of the sun, but like, she's adorable.
Oh my God, so cute.
And everybody told me come late July or August, your eggplant are going to go insane. And I didn't believe them. My eggplant are now going insane. I'm going to be making so much caponata. So stay tuned for that. Oh, and then my srirachas. These were grown to teach the rats a lesson. These are little. And then let's find a big one. This one's a big one. Nice. But yeah, everyone's doing pretty well out here. I think I only have 3 tomatoes to grab, so let's grab those, take them back. Not a lot, but it's kind of been like gradually, picking up speed as summer goes on. But yeah, that's the house tour, or what you're gonna get of the house tour for now. We're gonna be back soon, very soon, with a video, which we probably need to start filming. But yeah, thanks for coming along.